Hi, thanks for joining me. This is April Winchester. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And today I'm going to share, another birthday card. But really, you can change your sentiment to be anything you want. I think I've said in the past, I'm just trying to add some birthday cards to my stash. And I actually have somebody in mind for this particular card. However, so let's get started. First, let me remind you that it's Make and Mail Monday. That means that I'm going to make a card. I'm going to share it with you. And if you comment in the comment section below and like this video by giving it a thumbs up, you will be entered to win this card, whatever. But this card will be mailed to you or somebody of your choosing. And if you choose to give me somebody else's address, you do need to have permission from them first before you give me their address. But I can just mail it to you and then you can mail it to whoever. If you choose to have it mailed to somebody else and you have their permission, I can put a little note inside if you want that. You just gotta let me know if your name is chosen. So you need to enter by Sunday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then I will comment under the person who won and let them know, and then I'll contact them in some way. So make sure that you're paying attention to your notifications in case you get a comment back, because that's how you'll know that you won. And then I'll need to talk to you about how you can get in touch with me to get your card. So last week's card was this card. And you can view it, a video of it. This card is, will be going out in the mail on Monday. So I'm actually recording this before Monday, but you see it on Monday. And I don't know who it's going to yet. There's still time to enter. So yeah, I really can't wait to see who gets this card. So please enter by commenting and liking. It really helps me to know that people are actually seeing my videos, and it helps me with YouTube and helps me with my love of sharing card making and sending cards. All right, so now let's actually get started. So today's card is this cute little chicken card. We might change up a few things, but nothing major. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'd like this to be a fairly quick and easy card. I didn't put the inside in yet, but we are doing it inside. All right, so I started with a half sheet of Pool Party. I'm gonna go ahead and fold that in half and give it a good crease with my bone folder. I'm going to stick it in now I'm using a Misty. The only reason why I'm using a Misty is because I have not gotten my Stamparatus yet. It's on order. It should be here in the next week or so. I'm using the Stamp Set Wired Up. Let me see if I got it right here. All wired up. This is retiring, and it is retiring tomorrow, I believe, is the last day. So Monday the 3rd, if you're interested, get it now. Link for my shop is below. I love this, and I actually just got it, and then I got it recently and then found out it was retiring, and that made me sad. I'll probably keep it though, because I really like it. So I'm going to use Smoky Slate, and I'm going to ink up the whole image. And then I just put my card base in here. Oh, I'm gonna flip that over because it has something on that side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and close it and stamp it down. The good thing about platforms like this is that you have even coverage and it does the whole thing. And then when you lift it, if it's not stamped well, you can do it again. That works best if you have a magnet to be able to hold it down, but because this is an entire image, like covering my whole sheet, I couldn't put a magnet on it. So just have to be really careful about where it's placed. And I just gotta make sure that I go over it really, really well, so that hopefully we don't have to do it again. And we don't. That looks great. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside. All right, now I'm gonna set this aside. We'll come back to that. I have 3 pieces of scrap basic white here. And I'm going to take my Hey Birthday Chick stamp set. This, I believe, is still available. This is part of the January to June mini catalog. I'm just looking for my guys that I'm gonna stamp. Oh, I might be wrong. I made a mistake. I apologize. We will use the Hey Birthday Chick in a minute, but first we're going to use Hey Chick. So I'm going to use the 3 chickens, all 3 of the chickens from Hey Chick. I'm going to use Memento black ink, and I'm using this because I'm going to do some coloring with my blends, and Memento works best for that, so that it doesn't bleed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp these guys. Oh, I gotta stamp that one again because I caught the edges. You gotta be careful not to catch the edges. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, that's better. All right, so just cleaning off in between, and then do the next chicken. We'll put that chicken on this little piece. This is a tight squeeze on this one. Hopefully this, I don't regret using this smaller piece of scrap, but I think it will work. And then I'm gonna use this last chicken. I think he's kind of hilarious. So he, she, I don't know. All right, so there's my chickens. I'm gonna go ahead and close that Memento just so I don't have an incident here somewhere, and throw my stamps back into the case. All right, so now I'm gonna pull out my Stampin' Blends. I'm not fancy. I am not a fancy colorer by any means. So I'm going to start with Pool Party. I'm just going to use a light Pool Party, and I'm going to color in my chicken. Color the head. I'm going to color the wing. I'm going to use the other end because that's just taking too long using that end. And I'm going to color the tail. All right, then I'm going to leave some room, and I'm going to put some Pool Party here. There. Might come back to that. We'll see. All right, now I'm going to use my light Calypso Coral, and I'm going to do the comb. I think it's the comb. I believe the one on top is the comb. And I'm going to do the feet. And I really probably don't need to do the feet, but I just am. All right, and then I'm going to use this in the center of my chicken. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to use my, I believe it's So Saffron. Yes, light So Saffron in the spaces that I did not color. You can do any color combination you want. And you may be saying, man, chicken does not look like that. That's okay. I wanted it to be what I wanted it to be. Just kind of like whimsical and fun. It does not have to be actual colors of a chicken. Now I'm just taking my So Saffron and going over those little spaces on the tail and wing. Give it a little bit of color there. Oh, and I'm going to use the So Saffron to color the beak. All right, a chicken's done and can be set aside. Now I'm going to take my smoky slate. Yep, light smoky slate. And I'm going to put some smoky slate around the little, I'm going to call it feathering of this chicken. And then I'm going to use the Calypso Coral to do the wattle and the comb. My dark So Saffron to do the beak. And he is complete, or she is complete. Now this one's a little bit more crazy. I'm going to use my smoky slate. And I'm going to color the body in with smoky slate. And then I'm going to take the dark smoky slate and I'm going to go over the little feathering. I'm going to take my dark So Saffron and do the feet and the beak. And then I'm going to take my color lifter and I'm going to go over all of the gray, a little more in some areas than others, because I don't want it to be this dark. And it kind of blends the dark parts out, but it also lifts some color. There. Still kind of dark, but I don't mind that he's that dark. I could easily just keep going right over him if I wanted and lighten it some more. So now I'm going to use my dark Bermuda Bay. I'm going to use my light Granny Apple Green and my dark Calypso Coral. And I'm going to color his tail feathers and his crazy hair. And I'm just doing different little spots. And I have a hard time with these little tiny spots on my hand itches, to not like have it bleed out of the lines, but I don't think most people are going to even notice that it's bleeding out of the lines. All right, so we'll go ahead and add some Granny Apple Green here and there. And add some Granny Apple Green here. And then my Bermuda Bay. Come in with that and fill in the rest of this hair. And I don't really think it's hair, it's feathers, but you know. Okay, now I'm going to take my color lifter in there again and just kind of blend this a little bit and lighten it up a bit. I did try this with the light markers instead of the dark ones, but I liked it better by using the dark and then coming in and doing some color lifting, because I don't want it all to be lighter, just a little bit. All right, there's my chick. Actually, I feel like I'm missing a little bit here, so we'll just fill that in. All right, good. All right, so these 3 pieces are now done. I'm going to use the rectangle stitched framelits. I call them stitched rectangles, but either way. And I'm going to use this pretty small square, and they're so messed up, as you can see, that I don't know which one it is at the time, but I'll probably put that in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm just going to do this part of the chicken, and then I'm going to run through, that one's not the right one. Where'd that piece go? Oh, that might be it right there. Yep, here we go. And then this one, and we'll do this one as well in just a second, but I'm using the same die for this one, so I have to run it through twice. And I do like to try to have things done prior to, but with the coloring, I really wanted to stamp and color before I had die cut. So, just gonna run these through my machine real quick. And then I'm gonna run this one through the machine. And there's my pieces. Set this aside. All right. Perfect. All right. I'm going to set them aside for a minute and bring my card base back in. On this one, I had stamped in the different colors that I had used, but I'm going to actually use my Memento Black this time. That's kind of what I was saying. I might change it up a bit. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday that comes in the Hey Birthday Chick set in Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp it up here, down here, and then somewhat in the middle here, around the places where I would actually have the chickens. And I'm just looking to see if I have this straight real quick. The hard part about a stamp like this is that it's designed to be a little bit like wavy or whatever, so it's hard for me to tell. But we'll go ahead and stamp it. And that did not stamp completely straight, but you know. And now that I'm stamping it in black, I can actually tell that I think I like the colors better, but that's okay. And there's my 3 stamped pieces. And while we're stamping, I'm going to set this aside and pull in the centerpiece. I'm going to stamp that as well. And I'm going to go back to the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set that I had originally said. And I'm going to stamp the chicken that is eating a cupcake. I'm going to do that right over here on the side and bottom. And I'm also going to stamp the chicken that is a chick coming out of an egg with a party hat on. To look like it's kind of standing on top of this chicken. And it's not perfectly down there, but I think it's good enough. it's hard to tell with these things. All right. Now you can stamp a sentiment or something in there if you want. I didn't, and that's okay. And you can also leave this completely blank, like plain like this, just stamped, or to save time, you can color it. And so I have this one that is colored, so we will stick that inside our card in just a minute. So I'm going to take these 3 pieces and I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on them. And I don't, I'm going to use my minis. The regular size would be great. They'd be perfect for this, but I have a ton of minis that I want to use up. So here we go. I don't use minis very often at all. But the minis work just as well. So we will use them. There we go. Now before I put these pieces on, I'm going to put my ribbon on. This ribbon is, it's just in color ribbon. It doesn't say a name on it. I believe this is Bumblebee. This ribbon is retiring soon. So if you, well, soon as in like tomorrow's the last day. Yeah, tomorrow's Monday. Monday the 3rd, last day. To get it. So sorry, my arm was probably in the way there. And again. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And you know what? I kind of forgot that I was putting ribbon on here, and I put my happy birthdays really close to the edge. So this ribbon might not work so well. We will find out. Oh, it might be okay if I pull it way over to the edge. I could always leave the ribbon off too. We don't have to use the ribbon. So I'm just going to tie a knot with this up at the top here. Man, I am struggling. If you know anything about me, if you've watched my videos, you know that I do not do well with knots and bows, especially bows. I don't know why. I think it's because I got fat fingers. All right, there's my knot. Not beautiful, but it's there. I'm just going to cut the ends off. I'm going to make sure it's pushed all the way to the edge so that we can see the happy birthday. And then to help keep it in place, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of glue dots on it. If I can find my glue dots. Here they are. I'll just stick a glue dot under there, and one under on this side of the knot. And I think I'll do one at the bottom too. I don't normally, but I want to keep it away from that birthday sentiment right there. So there's my ribbon. Now I can go ahead and take the backings off these. And I'm barely getting them off, so let's use our Take Your Pick tool. The Take Your Pick tool is one of my favorite tools. It can be used for so many things, including taking the backing off your dimensionals. I can do it pretty well with the larger dimensionals, but these minis, I do struggle to get off. All right. So if you're doing this for the first time, you might not want to put your dimensionals on until after you have figured out your placement. I keep forgetting my card shouldn't be down that low. But I had already knew kind of where I wanted to place things. And so I'm not pushing it down. I'm just gonna set it there just to make sure that I'm putting them where I want. And I did change the placement a little bit with this one, but I'm okay. I think I like this one better, except for, well, I'll show you in just a second. Let me put this inside in. All right, so that is the card. And so the first one, I used the different colors for the birthdays, and I didn't line them up very well. But I think they actually look good. It's like whimsical. This one, I used black, and I think I like the colors better, but I like how I space these out on this one better. So if you leave a comment, letting me know which one you like better, that'd be awesome. If you are the winner of the card, I'll let you choose if you want the black and white one that's spaced out more, or the one that's not as spaced out. This one does not have it inside yet, but I can put one in. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to comment and thumbs up this video. Description of how to make it, like the dimensions, is below. So is the link to my blog and my online store. The products that I used today are also linked below, and I would absolutely love to be your demonstrator and would appreciate any of your orders. I hope that you have a great night. Bye.